Welcome back to Tech Pulse, your weekly dive into the stories shaping the future of tech and business. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Here's today's headline. Apple warns users of spyware attacks amid iPhone 17 debut.
That's a serious headline. Spyware attacks and a brand new iPhone launch in the same sentence? Sounds like Apple's juggling both fire and fireworks.
Exactly. It's dramatic timing. On September 3rd, Apple sent out global threat notifications to high-profile users, warning them of mercenary spyware attacks. While just days later, the company unveiled what it's calling the most advanced iPhone security feature ever.
Okay, pause. For those listening who aren't deep in cybersecurity lingo, what exactly is spyware? And what makes this different from, the average virus your computer might pick up?
Good catch. Spyware is malicious software designed to secretly monitor your device, tracking calls, messages, emails, even your location. But here's the kicker. These aren't random hackers spreading malware in mass emails. These are mercenary spyware attacks, highly targeted campaigns built by companies like NSO Group, creators of Pegasus, and sold to governments or organizations to monitor specific high-value individuals.
So not your grandma clicking the wrong link. We're talking journalists, politicians, activists, basically people who could change narratives or influence power.
Exactly. And Apple said these attacks are highly sophisticated, often exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities. That means flaws in the system that developers don't even know about yet, so there's no patch available.
That's like breaking into a house through a door the builder didn't even realize existed.
Perfect analogy.
And Apple's been sending these warnings for a while, right?
Yes, since 2021. This is actually the fourth wave just this year alone. March, April, June, and now September. In total, Apple has notified users in over 150 countries. The latest wave targeted individuals in Iran, India, across Europe, journalists, lawyers, activists, politicians, even senior officials in strategic industries.
Whew. So not only widespread geographically, but laser targeted on who gets hit.
Exactly. And Apple doesn't take this lightly. The warnings pop up directly in your iMessage, email, and right at the top of your Apple account page when you log in. They want you to see it.
So what's new here beyond the warnings? You mentioned the iPhone 17 has some kind of breakthrough security feature?
Yes, this is where it gets exciting. Apple introduced Memory Integrity Enforcement, or MIE.
MIE. Sounds fancy. Break it down for me.
All right, so spyware like Pegasus often targets memory safety vulnerabilities, basically flaws in how apps handle data stored in your phone's memory. MIE works by tagging each piece of memory with a secret label. Only apps with the matching label can access that memory. If something doesn't match, boom, the app crashes and Apple gets a log that helps track the attempted attack.
So it's like giving every room in your house a unique key, and only the right key can open it. Any fake key snaps the lock and sounds the alarm.
Exactly. And cybersecurity experts are calling it transformative. One U.S. government security researcher even said the iPhone 17 might now be the most secure computing environment on the planet that's still connected to the internet.
That's a bold claim, especially since security is usually about cat and mouse. Hackers find a hole, companies patch it, hackers find another.
True, but this changes the rules of the game because it's built deep into the hardware with Apple's new A19 and A19 Pro chips. It's enabled by default in Safari, iMessage, and other core tech surfaces. Third-party apps can adopt it, but it's not automatic for them yet.
So if I download, say, a random flashlight app, does it get the MIE shield?
Not unless the developer specifically build it in. But the major attack vectors, Safari, iMessage, system-level apps, are covered out of the box.
Okay, but let's go back to those 0 days. You mentioned Apple patched one in August. What happened there?
Right. In August, Apple released an emergency fix for a flaw identified as CVE 2543000. That one was being exploited alongside a WhatsApp vulnerability in an extremely sophisticated attack. Think about it. You don't even need to click anything, and your phone can be compromised.
That's chilling. Just existing online makes you a potential target.
Exactly, which is why this new MIE feature matters so much. It raises the cost and difficulty for spyware developers. They'll have to work harder and spend way more money just to find cracks.
And that shifts the economics. If developing spyware goes from, say, a $1 million exploit to a $20 million exploit, suddenly fewer players can afford to run the game.
Exactly. And remember, mercenary spyware isn't just about cost, it's about accountability. Apple sending out these alerts publicly shines a spotlight on the fact that surveillance tech is being used against civil society, not just criminals or terrorists.
So, big picture, Apple isn't just selling a new iPhone, it's positioning itself as the champion of digital safety.
Yes, and doing it right as regulators in Europe and elsewhere are scrutinizing how big tech handles privacy. It's a smart, strategic play.
I gotta ask though, do you think average users, like people just scrolling TikTok or checking email, should be worried?
For most people, probably not. These attacks are so expensive and so targeted that the chances of a regular user being hit are slim. But the technology that stops those attacks trickle down into everyday protection for all of us.
So, in a way, activists in Europe and politicians in India are the frontline testers, and we all benefit from the fallout.
That's one way to look at it.
All right, final thought. If I'm buying an iPhone 17, am I basically buying the Fort Knox of smartphones?
Pretty close. One researcher called it the most secure computing environment on the planet that's still connected to the internet. That's about as high a compliment as you can get.
Well, unless it comes with a free titanium vault, I'll take their word for it.
Exactly. That wraps up today's Tech Pulse. Apple's warnings highlight the risks, and the iPhone 17's new security shows us the future of device protection. What do you think? Will this stop spyware in its tracks? Or is it just the next move in an endless game of catch-up? If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Tech Pulse wherever you're listening.
And share it with that friend who always clicks suspicious links. You know who I'm talking about.
Perfect note to end on. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.